Welcome to American Baller, where we focus on all things NFL. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future videos.
And a first down at the Tampa Bay.
If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that the NFL has always been a reflection of American culture. From small-town teams uniting communities to the league's grand displays of patriotism, it's the American spirit condensed into 60 minutes of hard-hitting action. But in recent years, some fans, players, and critics argue that the league has leaned too far into political statements and social issues, turning game day into a battleground for ideological conflict. The latest flashpoint? San Francisco 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa in his decision to wear a Make America Great Again MAGA hat during a post-game appearance, breaking the NFL's rule on political expression. While Bosa's display sparked an immediate media firestorm, it also reignited broader conversations around the NFL's policies and perceived political stance. Bosa's MAGA moment, breaking down the backlash. Nick Bosa, known for his athletic prowess and strong opinions, has long been a divisive figure. After his team's victory over the Dallas Cowboys, he interrupted NBC's post-game interview donning a MAGA hat, one that's become a symbol of divisive politics. This act brought him praise from certain quarters, but triggered criticism as well. Bosa's MAGA hat directly violated Rule 5, Article 4, Section 8 of the NFL's rulebook, which prohibits players from displaying political messages during game day periods. This restriction is enforced from pre-game through to post-game appearances. Bosa's choice to wear the MAGA hat appeared to be in clear violation of this rule, sparking quick responses across social media platforms and drawing scrutiny from the NFL. The league confirmed it is actively investigating the incident. NFL insider Jonathan Jones shared updates. While Bosa is unlikely to face suspension, the NFL may announce any fine following Election Day. The choice to hold off on any severe punishment has fans and commentators split. Is the league playing favorites, or does this show a shift in its response to political statements? When did politics and the NFL collide? The NFL's engagement with politics and social issues isn't new. Think back to the league's long-standing tradition of honoring the military and promoting national unity. But the 2016 protests, when Colin Kaepernick began kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial injustice, changed the landscape significantly. That act of defiance brought political and social issues right to the 50-yard line, leading to debates that still divide fans today. Since then, the NFL has walked a tightrope, trying to support players' freedom of expression while maintaining neutrality. Critics argue that the league's mixed responses create inconsistency, especially when contrasting situations like Bosa's recent MAGA hat incident against previous protests that received immediate responses. In recent years, the NFL has ramped up its involvement in social causes. The Inspire Change initiative aims to promote equality and justice, with the league donating millions to causes that address these issues. However, some fans believe this push for social justice has turned into pandering and say that the NFL has become too woke. This criticism reached a peak in the wake of George Floyd's death in 2020. The NFL made a strong statement condemning racism, followed by a decision to play the Black national anthem before some games, which brought mixed reactions. Supporters saw these actions as necessary steps toward equality, while others felt the league was virtue signaling. The other side of the story, Trotter versus the NFL. Just as Bosa's MAGA hat created controversy, so did former NFL media employee Jim Trotter's legal battle against the league. Trotter sued the NFL, alleging that he faced retaliation for speaking up against the league's poor diversity record. In a press conference, Trotter questioned the NFL on why it had never hired a black senior manager in its media division, which allegedly led to his contract not being renewed. The NFL eventually settled with Trotter, agreeing to fund a scholarship to support journalism students at historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs. The settlement, while seen as a victory for Trotter, raised new questions. Is the NFL doing enough for diversity, or is it just trying to appease critics without taking concrete actions? The Trump effect, fans on the field and divisive reactions. Bosa's incident wasn't the only political expression involving Trump in recent weeks. During a Pittsburgh Steelers game, former President Trump made an appearance, sparking mixed reactions among fans. His supporters chanted USA, and one even ran onto the field carrying a pro-Trump sign, stopping play temporarily. The incident was a reminder of how polarizing politics and sports can be. Fans are increasingly divided between those who want the NFL to stick to sports and those who feel it's inevitable for the league to address social and political issues. Balancing the brand, the NFL's dilemma. The NFL's brand is built on unity and tradition, values that can be tricky to maintain in today's polarized environment. As it stands, the league is caught between two factions, one that wants a return to the good old days where football and politics didn't mix, and another that sees the NFL as a powerful platform for promoting change. The Bosa incident illustrates this dilemma. On one hand, the league's rules clearly prohibit political messages, meaning Bosa's hat could result in a fine. On the other, Bosa's influence as a high-profile player and the support he receives from some fans could make a harsh penalty controversial. A.J. Brown's recent decision to voice his support for Donald Trump has sparked discussions across the sports and political spheres, and it certainly added another layer to how fans and teammates perceive him. Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver didn't shy away from expressing his view, which he framed as part of his personal values and beliefs, and he's been clear that it's not something he expects everyone to agree with. In a post-game interview, he mentioned that his support stems from specific policy preferences and what he sees as a focus on business and the economy. Given that athletes are often seen as role models, Brown's stance has drawn both praise and criticism from fans and followers who see things through their own political lens, kind of confidence and authenticity, while for others it may complicate their support. The cost of wokeness and its impact on fans. For some fans with Bosa's message argue that the NFL is punishing a player for expressing his beliefs, while others feel the league should apply rules uniformly, regardless of the player's message or status. What's next for the NFL? As the NFL evaluates Bosa's MAGA hat incident, its response will set a precedent. The league's policies around player expression and social responsibility continue to evolve, and it's clear that both fans and players are closely watching. After all, football was once a place where personal beliefs were set aside for the love of the game, a tradition that some hope can be revived in today's climate. When fans tune in on Sunday, they're there to watch hard-hitting action, marvel at elite talent, and root for their teams. However, it sometimes feels like the NFL is trying to be everything for everyone, advocating for causes and making statements that feel out of place during game time. While issues like social justice, diversity, and community engagement are meaningful, football's a unique sanctuary, a place where fans from every background come together for one common purpose: the thrill of competition. The league's recent focus on promoting a woke image has sparked discussions about whether this actually detracts from the fan experience. What's often missed is that the NFL's reach is its own platform. The sport itself brings people together across divides. The beauty of football is that it doesn't care where you come from or what you believe. If you can throw, tackle, or run with the best, you've got a spot on the field. When the league spends more time promoting off-field agendas, it risks alienating those who watch football to escape everyday divisive issues. Some argue that this focus on broader social messaging dilutes the game's excitement. For instance, campaigns or slogans that appear on the field, uniforms, or broadcast breaks can sometimes feel like distractions, taking time and attention away from the play on the field. Fans want the NFL to be a space where they can relax, cheer, and experience the highs and lows of a competitive game without feeling like they're being lectured or influenced. By concentrating on what made the NFL successful in the first place, the love of the game, the skill of the players, and the purity of competition, the league can better honor its fans and ensure its longevity. Social change can happen naturally through the unity that sports provide. Keeping the focus on football might be the best way for the NFL to make a lasting impact, uniting fans and keeping the excitement alive on the field. Final thoughts. Can we keep politics out of football? Football has never existed in a vacuum, and players have every right to their beliefs, but when the game becomes a stage for political statements, fans are often left to navigate complicated emotions. Bosa's MAGA hat, Trotter's diversity lawsuit, and Trump's appearance in Pittsburgh are all reminders of the delicate balance the NFL must strike. Perhaps what fans truly desire is a return to simpler times, where players like Bosa and others can showcase their skills on the field without fear of stirring controversy. But in a world where everything is political, maybe that's too much to ask. Only time will tell if the NFL can truly find a middle ground, or if it will continue down a path that some feel is just too woke. So So, is the NFL too woke, or is it simply trying to keep up with the world around it? The answer is complex. From Colin Kaepernick's knee to Nick Bosa's MAGA hat, the league has found itself in a tug-of-war between its role as a cultural platform and as a sports organization. Fans are divided. Some see these expressions as a distraction from the thrill of the game, while others see them as an authentic use of players' voices. In the end, maybe the NFL's power lies in its ability to unite, to bring together people from all walks of life under the shared love of the game. If the league can strike the right balance, it could set a powerful example, showing that while our personal beliefs and backgrounds might differ, football is where we can all come together. So, what do you think? Should the NFL stick to the game or continue as a platform for social issues? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for tuning in to American Baller. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future videos.